World Cup. We're going to do this every day. It's called Get Up and Goal. And we'll show you some of the spectacular moments from the World Cup, which is into the net, giving Japan a 2-2 draw with the higher-ranked Netherlands team. So that was a great result for the Japanese side. In Mexico last night, great start to the World Cup for Sweden as Yassine Ayari scored twice from long range. Manchester United's Ahmad Diallo scoring a superb 90th minute winner as Ivory Coast beat Ecuador 1-0, the loss snapping a 19-match unbeaten streak for Ecuador. And it is our pleasure at this break, everything down for us here. Look, right, there he is. You all know him so well. Roger is with us here as Team USA gets it's off to a very hot start. Roger Bennett is with us here. And I want to go to the Team USA game on Friday night. So much has happened since then in American sports. But I think that there was a feeling, Team USA already surpassing its goal total from the entire 2022 tournament with the 4 goals, the most in any World Cup game all time. The 3-goal win tied for the largest World Cup win by a U.S. team. I'm going to ask you a pretty simple question. Was that the best game an American team has ever played in a World Cup?
Oh, Big Greenie, for our men, certainly. Our women kick ass, they win things. But this, USA 4, Paraguay 1, on home turf, first game of a World Cup, heavy expectations. Don't like to be hyperbolic, but it was up there with Washington crossing the Delaware, putting a man on the moon, inventing the corn dog from a footballing perspective. It wasn't just the win, Greenie. It was the style of the win. Emphatic, delirious, the goals, exclamation points, the play, sizzling. And the communion with the fans was probably most critical of all. 70,000 at SoFi to watch it. The players dancing, the fans screaming, the players' levels going even higher. The World Cup's kicked off, but it's an ultra marathon, not a sprint. So we've got to keep our focus, keep in check, but it was exquisite.
And is it something that feels as though it can continue? Sometimes you have a great night and things don't look as though they are repeatable. Does this look like something that this team maybe has raised its ceiling? I'm a very negative, dark human being. I'm American. Optimism surges. The little bit of Englishness that's left in me always sees the darkness behind every door. It is a long tournament. It's a grinding tournament. The heat, the size of travel, the coming together, we don't know. It's like an all-star team. Is it going to be good? Is it going to stay? There are teams who've had emphatic wonder in their opening games, and then the first time they get punched in the mouth have fallen off. But the thing that I take so much encouragement from is there's so many players on this team who stepped up. It wasn't kind of like a, get the ball to Jalen Brunson situation. There were players hurting a very good defense. This was not an elite opponent, but from a defensive perspective, this is the Paraguay kind of like the Seahawks level in the NFL. And to put 4 goals on them with different goal scorers, different ways of scoring was the night from really uncut dreams for everybody who cares about the growth of the game in this nation. There was the one moment of concern, or I guess the overwhelming issue of concern that comes out of it with an injury to Christian Pulisic, who, I was watching all of the coverage and played extraordinarily well, and even my relatively untrained eye could see how active he was. What do we know about that situation, and how would you describe its significance?
Oh, a nation holds its breath thinking about Christian Pulisic's calf muscle. He's the prince who was promised since he came through out of Hershey, Pennsylvania as a 17-year-old. He's an exquisite player when he's loved. When he's feeling great, he can create magic and mischief and wizard filth. The opposite is true when he doesn't feel that he's on. He came off the field at halftime. He said it was a calf muscle twinge. He'd taken a kick. It was all precautionary. So I do think we can hold our breath. But again, there were so many players, Greenie, who stepped forward and dazzled. Flo Balogun, our striker, who scored for Will. Malik Tillman tried to posterize everybody. Serginho Dest, who's playing as if he's heard the And One mixtape tour's coming back. And he wants to be the professor. It's the US backline that I'd really worry about. When Pulisic stepped off, here's what I take heart from. Gio Reyna, another prodigy who wants to prove himself again to the nation. He stepped up and with the last kick of the ball, delivered just an exquisite moment that could have won a Pulitzer Prize for poetry. We've got many weapons.
All right, so we have the incredible action
on the field all over the continent that we've shown you. And then there is the action that's been taking place off the field. I want to get your take on a few of these. Starting in Japan, fans ran onto the famous Shibuya crossing in Tokyo for 40 seconds to celebrate its team's tie against the Netherlands. What are we seeing here?
Oh, we're seeing just collective effervescence. This is the good stuff. This is the power of this tournament. 200 million people watch the Super Bowl. 5 billion people around the planet watch the World Cup. It's like an eclipse that strikes the planet for 39 straight days. And that's what we're seeing here. Just joy that we can share. I'm not Japanese. I've never been to Japan. But watching their team step up and do their thing yesterday, I felt that ecstasy.
How about, let me show you the Dutch here. The Dutch celebration was, look at this, right? Spectacular. And it's pretty well coordinated, too.
They do it for every game. They dance behind a giant orange bus. Why? It takes too long to explain. I think even they've forgotten why they do this. But to come to Texas and just do this, take line dancing and make it so orange, is just a thing that even the host could appreciate.
And then in Boston, the Tartan Army took over Fenway for their Scottish Heritage Night. Take a look.
Oh, Greenie, I hope you were going to show this. I hope you were going to show this. The Tartan Army. The Tartan Army. I don't know who's going to win the World Cup, Greenie, but I think Scotland may have already won the World Cup. They've come into Boston. They said they were going to drink it dry. I think they may already have done. But the warmth, the joy, the ebullience, taking over Fenway Park, chanting, just a merging of cultures. I'm old enough to remember when Boston used to be an Irish city. I think the Scottish legacy is going to be one of the great gifts of this World Cup.
Absolutely. I can't hear that accent without wondering what time my tea time is. Anyway, Roger, outstanding. A pleasure to have you, and we'll be chatting all the way through this World Cup here and see where the Americans go. They play again next Friday. Meanwhile, back to the NBA. The Brunson burner on full display in Game 5. Was it the best performance in a clincher ever? I've got the list next.